Hi friends! Happy Monday! There has been a couple, at least, of really exciting manga/anime news that I wanted to talk about a little bit before I get to what I read last week. I did also read a lot last week, so I'm going to do a more compressed reading recap just because I would talk for hours about everything that I read if I didn't keep myself in check. The very first thing that I am so excited about, I think this is the most exciting thing, is that Firefly Wedding is getting an anime. So exciting. I have not caught up. I need to catch up. This is Firefly Wedding. I own the first 7 volumes. This one here is volume 7. I think I've read the first 4. So I really need to catch up. And I feel so rushed now. And I hate feeling rushed. Because whenever something I love becomes animated, obviously it becomes more popular, which is fantastic. But not everybody is as careful about spoilers as I personally think they should be. And the more excited people get, the more lax they get about spoilers. And the final chapter, I think, is being published today. So, in between right now and when I have finished this series, I am not going on Twitter to do anything except do my posts and I log out because I'm not taking any chances. Instagram is a little bit more safe, but I'm still going to be so vigilant because I'm going to be so mad if this gets spoiled for me. But yeah, this is getting an anime this October, and it feels such, like, it's not like a horror series, like, really. We do have, like, the most yandere or, like, crazy character, like, ever. But it's not, like, horror. But even still, it feels just so, like, right, you know? It feels right that it's coming out in October. Everybody's been freaking out about the animation studio that picked it up. I'm not familiar with animation studios, so I can't really give my 2 cents on it. But apparently they're, like, one of the best. So I really hope this does get the beautiful animation that it deserves. I'm so excited for this one. Yeah, I cannot wait. And then my second piece of news, I only have 2 pieces of news, is about another book. And this one has been only recently on my radar as of yesterday. Brand new. It's a light novel. I've kind of been on a light novel kick lately. Like, typically I do read like one light novel at a time, preferably in Japanese, but I read really slowly and I don't really talk about them all that much. But lately I've been reading a lot of English light novels too, because I speed read those, at least I speed read compared to my Japanese reads. So I've been on the lookout for all of the new light novels, and this one, published through Yen Press, really caught my attention when I saw it yesterday. It's called About a Place in the Kinki Region, or in Japanese, it's Kinki no aru basho ni tsuite. It's already published in Japanese. It's called About a Place in the Kinki Region, which is a region within Japan. Okay, I had to double check. So within the Kinki Region, because I'm not good with geography. We have Kyoto, Osaka, Nara, those kinds of areas. I used to live in Kyoto, so I am very familiar with the Kinki region, even if I didn't know it. So I'm going to read the little description that Amazon has for the series in English, and hopefully you'll think it's just as interesting sounding as I do. My friend is missing. When he disappeared, he had been working on a magazine about the paranormal, his first real job as an editor. With almost no budget, he'd resorted to digging through back issues and unused research material, looking for inspiration. As he did, a terrifying truth began to emerge about a certain place in the Kinki region. I have collected the relevant articles, interviews, and other materials in this book. And once you have understood everything, I would like to ask for your cooperation. I hope you get in touch. It's the end. But I just think it's so interesting. It doesn't feel like a typical novel. It's very mysterious, and I like that. So I was so intrigued that obviously I downloaded a sample of the Japanese version because it's already been published in Japanese, and it looks so good. I will say it is published in, or I guess it's written in a format that is sizable chunks. So it's not just like one typical traditional like story. It's a bunch of different like newspaper articles, blog posts, random different things, all regarding the same topic more or less. compiled into one story. That makes it very, very friendly for Japanese learners like myself, because you only need to be able to understand each smallish snippet of the story. You're not going to be needing to understand like everything for a very long time. You have to understand these 2 pages, then you get a break, and then 5 pages, and then you get a break. I really like that kind of storytelling because I find that very easy to digest. I'm also a very big fan of this one. The English is a collection of 5-minute short stories that will surprise you by the end, is like kind of the English. This is also, it takes me longer than 5 minutes to read, but it's a collection of very short stories that you don't need to understand every single word and make the connections in your head throughout the entirety of the book. You just need to make those connections for the 10 to 20 pages of each story you're reading. Very, very friendly for Japanese language learners. I'm not saying that longer books aren't good, because I do also read the longer light novels. Just, I can get through these a lot quicker because they're a lot more friendly on my brain. They don't tire me out as much. Okay, those are my 2 news points. Moving into, I'll do quickly what I read last week in terms of light novels. So I am working only on this English one. This is The Condemned Villainess Goes Back in Time and aims to be the ultimate villain. It's dirty. I can get it off. Okay. I didn't get it off. That's okay. I'm reading this one. I think I read 4 chapters last night. I'm still really enjoying this one. This is volume 2, so it's a continuation of volume 1. And we have our introduction of Raoul here. He is obviously my best boy. Personally, I don't really like him all that much. He looks like a Northern Duke, but he lacks the personality traits of a Northern Duke, and I dislike that. Hey, he acts as I think he should, given how he looks and everything. I really, really enjoy his character. I'm not really enjoying him. I'm not going to spoil anything about it because I'm not even done. I'm like 33, I think, % through, according to Goodreads. So I'm not going to give my opinions all that much yet. Just, I don't like him, but I like him. And she's still fun. So I am still enjoying this one. And then I finally got the last of my Indigo orders yesterday. I hate shopping online through Indigo. I'm never doing that again. But my 1 light novel order arrived. This is volume 1 of Agents of the Four Seasons, Dance of Spring. I bought this purely because I kept seeing people talk about it online and I wanted to join the bandwagon. But also, aren't they so cute? I know nothing about the series whatsoever, but aren't they just so cute? So I'm excited. I'm excited to read on. But yeah, Indigo, if I could have shipped to my house, but I ordered everything. I ordered 8 books towards the end of December. And they said if I ordered shipped to house, it would have been free shipping, but it wouldn't have come till like the very end of January, early February. And I didn't want to wait that long for my books. But it said if you order like ship to store, everything will come in by January 19th. And I was like, okay, that's the quicker option. I live not too far from an Indigo, so sure. It came in like 5 separate shipments, and every shipment was like, you have to pick it up within the next couple days or else we're shipping it back to sender. And I was like, well, so I've been going from my house to Indigo back and forth because I never knew when the next shipment would come. And it was awful. So I'm never doing that again, but okay. Enough complaining. For my books. First one I read was volume 1 of Love Bullet. I did a whole deep dive on this book. I loved it, is the short end of it. This one only has 1 volume out in English and only 2 in Japanese. And when I talked about that before, quite a few people let me know it was on the verge of being axed in Japanese, which like, why? It's so good. It's so unique. So I'm happy it hasn't been axed because I really enjoy this series. And I was going to buy the volume 2 in Japanese right away so I could read on. But I figure if it's only having 2 volumes in Japanese right now, I might as well wait for the English volume to come out so I can have like consistency, all the same language in this series. This is a action romance. I think this is my only action romance series about cupids making other people fall in love. How do they make other people fall in love? With their cupid bullets. And there are many cupid gunfight. And though it's very action oriented, there are no like negative emotions, I would say. Like everything's lighthearted, told in good spirits. There is a little bit of blood, but it's not gory by any sense of the word. At least in my opinion, it's very tame, but it's very, very fun. I really like all the cupids. They're very cute. The lore is interesting. And on the back, we can kind of see all of the different characters that make their appearance in this volume. I'm excited for volume 2 of this one. Okay, my next read, doing this fast, is volume 2 of Kakuriyo, Bed and Breakfast for Spirits. Long story short, I liked volume 1 quite a bit more than volume 2, but I did not dislike volume 2 enough that I would stop reading. Just volume 1, in my opinion, had a bit more like magic and intrigue, and just it was more tailored to my taste, I'll say that. Volume 2, we have like a setting, I can tell where they're trying to go, where Aoi and the ogre are like supposed to be on better terms. They're supposed to start to understand each other, blah, blah, blah. I don't like them together. He kidnapped her. She is like she's not headstrong, but she knows what she wants to do. And what she wants to do is to not marry an ogre that kidnapped her. She is very adamant that she will work her way to pay off her grandfather's debts. She'll do whatever she needs to do to pay off the debts so that she doesn't have to marry him. And I don't like that the story seems to be going, in my opinion, in the direction that she will end up marrying him regardless. We'll see how it goes. I still do like, I think his name is Ginji, the nine-tailed fox. I still do like his character. We are like hinted at a bit of lore between the three of them in Aoi's past that she seems to have forgotten about. So there is some like interesting things happening. However, I think this story would be very, very tailored to my interests, at least, if it were just a pure like slice of life, lighthearted fantasy sans romance. I really do not think this needs any romance. It doesn't feel romantic to me. They do not have any chemistry in my eyes. And he keeps referring to people working there as his grandchildren. So if you see them as his grandchildren, and even his grandchildren are like so much older than Aoi, how is he trying to marry Aoi? How does he not see her as his grandchild? So we'll see. I will be continuing to read it because I am still enjoying it overall. Just I'm hoping I can change my mind on the relationships if it does end romantic, but fingers crossed it doesn't. Okay, I'm trying to do my English reads first. I did a lot of English reads last week. Kamisama Kiss was fantastic. This was volume 2. My favorite, the sneak, I think he comes in the next volume because he's on the cover, my boy. So I'm really excited for that. Volume 2 made me angry. I was angry the whole time I was reading it, but it wasn't like this story sucks, I'm so mad kind of anger. It was that female god, oh my god, anger. It did a good job of inciting emotions in me. I read this really quickly. I hate that god. And I hate that there was no vengeance. I really need revenge. And so I'm hoping that Nanami can get her revenge eventually. If it was me, I would be plotting for the next time I saw her, but that's just me. This one does have a happy end. This one, it was a good volume. We really got to see Nanami and Tomoe's relationship get like solidified as, yeah, like they're there for each other. It's not romantic, but they're a family, and that's really solidified in this volume. We also have the Tengu character so I watched the anime forever ago. So I remember that I like the series. I remember the characters that I like, but I don't really remember where the story goes all that much. In my memory, the Tengu character was like an evil character who kidnaps Nanami. It's not what happens in this volume. He's such a good guy in this volume. I really liked it. So I'll have to read on to see, does he kidnap her? Does he turn evil? So I don't know. So we'll have to see. But in this volume, they all kind of, more so these two, had a common enemy that allowed their relationship to really grow. And I liked it. It was a really fun read, and I need volume 3. Okay, my last English read is volume 3 of Fruits Basket. From what I can understand, from my memory, and from the author's notes in this one, this is where the anime stopped. So volume 3 of the complete edition, or collector's edition, volume 6 of the singles. We see the, I don't want to spoil anything. We learn a secret from one of the boys, and that secret brings Toru closer to him. And I think that's around the time that the anime ended, because this volume had a character I did not remember. And I don't know if I didn't remember her because she was just introduced towards the end of the story, or was she not introduced at all? I don't remember. I really did like her introduction. So from here on out, I think everything's going to be very new to me because I only watched season 1 of the anime. And I'm looking forward to it. I really do like this series. We learned, I feel like even if I remembered all of the anime, the manga gives you more. That's how it always is. So this is like a fresh perspective. Yeah, there's quite a few. We meet Kyo's martial arts master. We learned about their background. I really thought that was sweet. Overall, a very good volume. I really like Yuki and his brothers, relationship, but also they don't really have a relationship, but the brothers trying. I think it's cute. There's, this is all about, found family, or, actual family, fixing their bonds and, healing each other's wounds and stuff. It's a touching story. The author warns you in this volume, though, it's about to get really sad from here. And I don't know if I'm ready for that, but we'll see. I'm already 3 volumes in, so I don't have much of a choice but to keep reading. Okay, those are all of my English reads. Here, I only read 2 volumes in Japanese. Technically 3, but I'm not talking about the 3rd one here. We'll start with the best, which is volume 16 of Colette. This is always my favorite. It's kind of hard to see. This is my most damaged copy. This down here is meant to be green. But I'm not spending my money on another copy. I don't have a lot of money to spend on my manga right now. I'm so behind in my collection. That's a story for another day. This volume was devastating. I was so sad, and I wasn't ready for it at all. The previous few volumes have been very lighthearted. We're learning about all the new characters. Everybody's not happy, but progress has been made for everybody in both work and life. Just so much goodness has happened. And then this volume. I will say nothing bad happens to Colette or Hades or anybody in the gang. It's one of those, Colette goes out on the road, meets somebody, and that somebody's circumstances are devastating. Thankfully, so we live kind of through Colette's perspective, where she does everything she can to help the person, but ultimately nothing can be done, and it's so sad. It was so sad. I wasn't ready for that. Let me know if you want to know specifically what happens. I did talk about it a little bit on TikTok, but I could do a whole really long video about this one. It was depressing. But yeah, Colette's always going to be my best read of the week, so it feels a little bit cheap to call it my best read every week. I just love it so much. And I only have 5 volumes left to read. I do have this, which is an after story. Yeah, it's drawings and after story that I'll read once I'm done everything. And there is one more kind of after story thing that I haven't got yet. It's kind of difficult for me to get my hands on. And again, I don't have money for more manga yet, but I'll get it. I will get my hands on it. Okay. My last read of last week is Eigyoubu no Takasugi-san wa Shinzou ni Warui, volume 3. This was purely okay. I didn't dislike it, but I didn't like it. It is an office romance between 2 teenagers in adult bodies, really. I think it's cute. This is by far the tamest romance in my collection. By far. And by tame, I mean they sit down on a bench together and their arms kind of touch. And it was whoa, too much. That could be a scandal level of, okay, that's tame. You're young, but they're not young. But well, they are, but still. It's cute. I'm not going to spoil anything. Just in this volume, he cares way too much about what other people think. And I understand it's done because he's her superior. And like, for example, if they get into a romantic relationship and the office learns about it, that could be portrayed negatively on her. People could think, oh, she's sleeping with the boss. Oh my goodness, kind of things. So I understand him being secretive in order to protect her. But it's like, my guy, there's a line. Like, you would think he hates her. Like, he would walk her home from work. This isn't really a spoiler. This is just a little thing that happens. He would walk her home from work, but he doesn't want anybody to know he's walking her home from work. So they meet at like a little cafe by their workplace. They walk separately but together to the train station silently. They ride the train silently. And then only when they get off of the train and look around and make sure nobody they know is around, that they talk. What's the point of going home together at that point? So I found that to be very frustrating. So I really hope he can get over that, because genuinely, I don't think anybody would really care if they end up dating, or if their not strange, but like their complicated relationship gets out. I don't think anybody would care all that much. And even if they did, like, she has such difficulties with, oh, I don't think he actually likes me. I look like a child. I'm not beautiful. She has a lot of self-confidence issues. His acting secretive with her does not help those self-confidence issues. There's no way. So I found that just frustrating. I need her to understand that she's beautiful. And I understand that's like, that's difficult. But him treating her like a girl that he likes, because that's what she is, would, I think, help immensely. Immensely! If you want to know more about what happens in this one too, I can talk about that for a while, because this one did frustrate me. I do enjoy this series, just it frustrates me. Like, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't want to spoil. And that's everything I read. I do have so many digitals to read that I'm really excited about. Pixiv really came through this week. Because Pixiv, there's so many I want to read. I'm just making sure there's nothing dubious that I downloaded by accident. I have to hide one. Because it's horror, not because it's weird. Ah! So I have all of these to read. The horror one is Kakuriyo 48 Hours Later. Or Freak Island, I think is the English. 48 Hours Later. I liked Freak Island. I like a good horror, so I'm excited for this one because I didn't realize it had sequels. I think there's 2 sequels. We'll find out. But yeah, there's so many. There's I don't know how to read this one, even in English. Champignon Witch, which has an anime out right now that I can finally sample. There's this one that I love. I'm stoked for this, to be honest. I read this one in English forever ago. This is technically a Korean webcomic. This one, if you know it, she's like the villainess. She gets reincarnated as the villainess. He is like the hero, but they end up sleeping together the first night, and he becomes obsessed with her. It's so good. It's really, really good. The Japanese title is very different from the English title, though, and I don't remember the English title. Whoopsies. We also have Immortality and Punishment, which is a brand new one, so I'm stoked I can read that. Sweat and Soap. Some new ones from Dessert. We have this one. I don't remember the English title, but my friend keeps telling me like to read it, and then we can read it. Quite a few of them are volume ones too. Pixiv really, really came through. But yeah, hopefully I can read everything today, because like I could read everything today and get my video out tomorrow about all the digitals I read, but that might take a couple days. Either way, I'm going to try and get that video out sometime this week. Speaking of anime, new anime that is coming out right now. I was so stoked for the winter anime season. And then I realized, like, every anime is on a different streaming service, it feels like. So, like, I'm finally I'm in a position where I'm able to finally catch up with season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen. because season 2 is not on Canadian Netflix. So that was a whole thing. I still pay for all of my stuff. Okay, don't even start. But I can't pay for all of the streaming services. So have you started any of the winter anime lineup? And if you have, what would you recommend I check out? Because I do want to watch at least a few of them, but I don't think I'm going to be able to watch everything I had my eye on, just because it feels like everything's in a different spot, and I don't have that kind of money. Maybe Netflix and Crunchy, maybe. But I like to watch my anime in Japanese with Japanese subs. I like Japanese audio and subs. I really like the subs. And I know you can do like Crunchyroll, I'm pretty sure will give you just the Japanese audio, but Netflix usually gives you the Japanese audio with the Japanese subs. That's what I like. Does Crunchyroll give you Japanese subs as well as audio? Because I would absolutely pay. I would absolutely subscribe if they did, but I don't think they do, which is dumb. But yeah,